Whoa! It's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash video. Now, it's been a little while since I've done a thoughts on video. However, I did receive a DM from Airzyy that informed me of this level, which just happened to become the event level. I don't really know how this happened or what is really going on here, but I did hear that there's a lot of keyframe usage, and me being the guy that likes to hyperanalyze the small details, I want to go in and check it out. This is a collaboration between YoReid and Airzyy, which I'm pretty sure it says in the beginning. It's for the Jam Gauntlet, and it's kind of crazy because it is the event level, and now there's a huge expectation that this level is going to win, but, you know, there's a lot of debate there. Cool intro scene, lots of animations I see right off the bat. It's like a 12% intro. But right off the bat, we see this very shady little area with some skulls in the bottom that are looking at me and appearing. It's very interesting. And the level opens up into this like fiery area. And I don't entirely know what to expect. There's some interesting timings here. I have heard it's not too hard, so I should be able to beat it pretty quickly. But I love the colors in this section. It's very faded out almost. We have this swing copter section, which is very neatly laid out for me. Everything is so beautiful. You see how the bridges bend and there's like a really nice curve to the background. Awesome lighting. It seems like there's a lot of scattered little lights everywhere. The background is very strongly lit, whereas the blocks in the foreground are very dark, it seems like. Lots of moving spikes and little shiny details on top. And you'll see that there's just so many different objects that are floating around here. Am I supposed to be up there or down the bottom? Yeah, you see this little skeleton that's like lighting up with a shield. It's actually so crazy. Okay, you do go to the ceiling here. Gotcha. It feels so interactive. Like I'm jumping off of the bricks on this bridge. It feels so strange. We're going through. Love the interactive clouds in the background. Everything is seemingly animated with keyframes. I'm not entirely sure how it's made. I want to go and check that out, but this is very intense. I love this cannon transition. That's so cool. You got the fire in the hole bait here. Okay, we jump onto that block. Oh, I love mini gameplay like this where there's just a ton of little blocks and it's like the song fits super well with this level so far. Again, with the dark foreground and everything, the bright moon in the background, which gets consumed. That's such a cool transition. Okay. I'm supposed to land there and jump. I gotta learn this gameplay a little bit. This is the most learny section in the level so far. I did think the sight reading in the bridge sections was a little bit short, but yeah. I just really like the lighting, like how there's a couple of light clouds behind the dark ones in the front. There are a couple of like raised bricks in the background, like floating around. We have signposts, we have cool particles here. And this is the section that everyone talks about that is randomized, I believe, with the boss. It's super cool. You see how the skull opens its mouth, the teeth sort of bend around. You can teleport through the ground and the ceiling, which is super sick. It just matches super well with the song. I love the amount of attacks that are in this section. It feels super floaty and fluid in this boss section because there's this pinch shader in the background that bends the bricks around the focal point of the center, which is just really cool composition that you don't often get to see. I don't know, there's just a lot going on here. I like the main attack that it's repeated. You have this super slow motion transition where you break through the brick. I've seen Jam Attack himself do those kind of transitions, and I think it always hits really hard. I love the climax of each orb there with the purple spider pad getting used to really slam you into the ground. How do I get to that pad? Oh, it's like the click sync, like do-do-do-do-do. So many different skeletons that are multi-purpose. We have a guy that's running off with a gem, and then you have a guy that's chasing him. There's so many cool details. I think I just saw a wizard in the background there, or a witch, whichever way around. So cool. Riding a cloud as well. So much personality is put into this level. So many tiny little details, like the rocks on the edges of each block, the waves. It's super cool. You have the skeletons that are killing each other. Very nice, I guess. I'm personally against violence like that, but yeah, we nab the gem and we escape. And this is super cool end screen. Man, looks like it's been drawn and then converted into GD with a lot of attention to detail there. I love the lighting all around. Very tasteful glow usage to not like spam it and make it super bright and overbearing. It's just like very well toned here. There are a lot of dark details in this level, but the bright details have like just the right emphasis put onto them. Looks super cool. It's like very tactfully done. I just saw a little banner there that says skeletons and players. I guess it's like a scoreboard. That's really sick. But yeah, you see how there are blocks that are sitting there and then they get animated with some kind of curse behind them. You can see with, I don't know if it's blue or purple because I'm colorblind. There's some sort of fog behind them. It's just like really cool how each detail is very purposefully put in. You have the cannon that's getting lit. Love the shader usage with the blur to really shoot us into the background. Feels very climactic. There's like a subtle twinkle on the bricks there as well. Everything is done super smoothly. A lot of the intricacies of each transition aren't like super flashy, which makes them come together super cleanly. And you can only really notice the small details when you look close at them. That's kind of how I like things to be done, because otherwise the levels just feel too overproduced and flashy for my tastes. This is a sick transition. The camera zooming in slightly there to show the top is really nice. Everything, it's like pulsing almost. There's a lot of camera controls that affect the entire screen, and you'll see it in this drop section. This whole beating thing, kind of distracting to play through in my opinion. Wow, those attacks really do follow you. It's super well made. You notice how the fireballs are going in different directions every single time. I do believe it's based on my position or maybe randomized, but there are so many cool little intricacies just to animate those skeletons and make them feel real. You know what I mean? Feels like it's responding to my movements. And that's why I like the camera controls in this level so much. Oh boy. This is like a really creative section. Going downhill but jumping up so much, and it allows that skeleton in the top left to really take center stage, even though it's in the top left corner. But yeah, I just really like how this level is made. It's very satisfying as a creator to just look at it and just be like, oh hey, I see the vision here, you know? I really need to learn keyframe triggers because they bring this level to life, literally. Like this level has super cool decoration and everything. Like all of the designs are super good, as you can expect from at least YoReid. I'm not as familiar with Airzyy stuff, but YoReid definitely has a profile that you can trace a lot of these designs back with. It's so sick how the background becomes the level here. You can see the exact blocks get used. That's insane. Oh, you hit the black orb there. Okay, that part is a little tricky for me to see. A lot of the details on the orbs that you're not supposed to hit are blacked out, but then there's a black orb, so I just get really confused. I really like this level's layout most of the time. I keep just jumping off the wrong blocks at times, but I think just the structuring in general, it's very trippy for me. I don't know what's wrong, but especially in the middle section where you're kind of open in the air, I get lost pretty easily. I think that's just because this level is kind of built up to be convincing as like a castle or an environment. There's a lot of blocks in the middle that you end up jumping over. I'll point them out when you get to them. I just think that's a cool little detail because not a lot of levels get away with doing that, and I think this does. You have sections like these where you're jumping over a couple of blocks. It's mainly in the pink section. There's also a lot of orbs that don't look like timings. It's very tricky. I think that's why it's a medium demon rather than an easy demon. But yeah, this section especially, you're jumping over some blocks that you'd expect to maybe land on. A lot of levels don't structure themselves like that, and that's maybe why it comes across more convincingly with the brick structures. I forget what happens here, but as long as you duck down in the middle of each section, you should be fine. Dang, that's actually really hard. Staring at the outlines, you can see a lot of the blocks are just like trembling, which make them look different every frame or so. It's actually kind of crazy. I want to know how many keyframes are in this thing because I do see a lot of animation. Let me see, we're on 80,500, and then if I delete all, okay, there's like 100 of these. I thought there was gonna be a couple more because you see so many different movements and like the arms of the skeletons and stuff. It's very creatively made. Love the details like this scoreboard with the count triggers. Oh, these are done with particles. I wouldn't have even thought of doing that for a foreground. That's really sick. Oh yeah, you see like a lot of radial blur with the shaders and stuff. It's always fun scrolling through real quick. Yep, you see the attacks and all of the assets down here. Super cool. Really well made overall. We have like different systems here. Fireball, volley, wizard attack, fireball, volley. Like, super cool. This whole downhill section. You see how there are lines drawn everywhere for different particles and different things that are keyframing. That's bizarre. I just went in between some of those fireballs. That was crazy. I'm really struggling to grasp how to avoid these things. Oh, I did it again. Dude, I really should probably practice this boss fight a little bit more because I feel like I'm relying on luck a lot more than I should be. And I'm wondering, because of this level and what it might inspire, I wonder if we're going to see more control-based duty levels. I mean, you get levels like that because you have to like nerve control, but this is kind of different because you're kind of responding to a pattern you see on the screen, right? I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Okay, I think I did it. Wow. So, it's so strange. It's such a unique thing to play. I really like the whole world building that it does. It's super cool how you progress from each section. You have like very good use of color. The first part is primarily orange. It's very dark and gloomy. Then you move into the bluish purple. I don't know, I'm colorblind. I can't tell which one it is. And then you have that amazing middle section. And then you go outside and then there's like the cave at the end. Each part is very well color coded. I think it's really cool. It's very convincing. There are a lot of techniques that are used all the way through, like the not twinkling, but the way that the blocks kind of jump around, you know? Well, that was Skeletal Shenanigans by YoReid and Airzyy. Very cool. But to kind of follow up on what I was saying, I really do think that there is a vision here where there can be like pattern-based sections with different bending objects and stuff that you have to respond to, just like that, because learning the middle of that level and just experiencing a boss fight like that where it's never the same and you kind of have to position yourself well, super fascinating. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Check the links in the description, leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.